Conversation. I am Dr. Sabiha, and today very proud and happy to have Anil Thomas, the Anil Thomas, a master NLP practitioner, gestalt therapist, an eminent speaker, bringing transformations in so many people around the world. And yeah, it's like for me, yes, a dream come true, because since I know NLP, I have always googled a few names. I used to go on Google and check कि कौन NLP में दिग्गज है, बड़े नाम है. And yeah, it was always him. His name always popped up on the top, and me sending one message and he agreeing for it was an amazing thing for me. So guys, stay tuned till the end. I'll just wait for him to log in. Can I go out of the live? No, I can't. Yeah, he's there. Oh, thank you, sir. Okay. I'm a bit nervous today. Let me be very honest with my audience. But yes, please, guys. Oh, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Wow, you're so good with your words. You just flatter me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know how NLP it is. But yeah, that almost like from the bottom of my heart. Believe
Thank you.
me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's 2013. I was introduced to NLP. And
Wow.
since then, when I go on Google. I used to Google NLP. And big names, Richard Bandon and all, they come. But I was very fascinated. Who in India? Who in India? And since then, I get your name. And today you're on my live, so I'm a bit overexcited.
And I'm nervous too, looking at the people there. I can see some of them whom I know, but it's just always nervous to be live and
I have so many questions, but I have heard almost all your videos. Even right now, I had logged into your channel, and to my audience also, I should tell it is a video of you, sir, which is 5 years back, where you are without this look.
I'm embarrassed. You should call me Anil.
Oh yeah, that I am okay with it. I'm absolutely okay with it. But deep down, there's huge respect for you. So yes, Anil, there's a video of you where you are explaining in a seminar what is NLP. Just now I was listening to it, and you gave an example of investment. You gave an example of how it is bridging, how NLP should be neuro-linguistic reprogramming.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of audience.
Yeah, lots of people.
I think NLP is a set of tools. It's technique. But the tools and techniques are useless if the wisdom is not tapped within. So I think the tools, the techniques are very important, but the wisdom is more important. And the wisdom comes with centering, grounding, being in touch with yourself. Above everything, just being in touch with that intention. What's the intention? And is that intention in service of the larger, or is that intention for something very small, short term, for myself, and not for the global community? That's the difference that creates the difference, I feel.
This is what happens listening to you. A person gets mesmerized.
I mean,
I forgot all my questions. Yeah,
let me ask you some questions then. What do you do, Sabia? Is that how you call yourself, Sabia?
Yeah, Sabia. Sabia. It sounds so sweet when you call it up.
Sabia. So tell me, what do you do, Sabia?
I'm a doctor by profession, by qualification. I'm a doctor. Almost 20 years I've been practicing medical practice. But as I say, 2013, I was introduced to life skills and life lessons. And then it was very fascinating for me when I got introduced to NLP, because I liked the approach of it being so scientific. And
Yeah,
since then, I kept on learning and learning. But I should be honest with you, my life took 180-degree shift when I actually used it. It saved Anil, मेरा और मेरी बेटी का रिश्ता बच गया only because of NLP. My daughter is an NLP practitioner.
Well, I feel जो भी बच गया वो इसलिए बच गया रहेगा क्योंकि आपका नियत. I believe it's intention first. Hi Preeti, hi Avataf. There's two people. there. Madhu is also there. I can see. For me, listening to Anil is
That's so
yeah.
nice. So nice, so nice.
So
We're getting
thanks for
so many
everybody
from.
who joined in, and I think this moment is going to be great. You guys can ask questions to Sabia, and I'll host the show. Let's know more about Sabia.
No,
Hi,
sir.
hi,
Anil, see,
Purva.
this is a beautiful comment. For me, listening to Anil is like going on mountains and doing tapasya, lost in my own world. Amazing. Amazing.
I think we all have been programmed in some particular way all through our life, and I think one of the classic programs we are all shoved down is the religious programs and the programs of nationality. And I believe that these are two programs that's given to us right at an early age so that we can be manipulated all through our life because we've been given these without even our consent. And today, when we are grown up and we are adults and we make a choice of changing certain things, you can see how society fights us so hard that somehow we feel we don't belong here. And something as simple as what I wear, what I eat, what do I worship, which superhero should I worship? And, these are all little installations in our life which we don't even know that's there. The earlier we realize it, the faster we can change and we can become what we want to become. But there is no escape of conditioning. We are always conditioned and we will continue to stay conditioned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So, on that note, can I ask my first question, Anil?
I'd like that.
Because that's the usual my first question to my every guest, because as you know, the title is Modeling Excellence, and me being an NLP practitioner, I will love to model your journey. So, based on that, my first question is, what was that moment when you decided, ki, yes, this is it, and this is what I want to do, and this is the knowledge I want to spread to others, or this is how I want to train people? What was that one breakthrough moment?
Um, I really don't know if that's what I want to do. Yeah, I was teaching chemistry all my life. For the first 20 years of my professional life, I was teaching chemistry to medical and IIT students, aspirants. Um, and one fine day, I met Father Dick. And I don't know whether I'm more impressed with neurolinguistics or I'm more impressed with Father Dick's journey. And sometimes I feel I can't distinguish between both these aspects. I looked at him and I was in awe of him because I could see him living the presuppositions of the subject. I could see him breathe the sensory acuity. I could see him walk the congruence. And I think I was always in awe of him to know at what point is he moving, what is he doing, and things like that. And I kept, maybe in the language of NLP, modeling him from different ways, from different directions, from different positions, and so on. And I started this journey in 2008 of learning neurolinguistics. And 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm just attending classrooms. In 2013, somebody just asked me, you've been in classrooms with Dick for so many years. Would you take a small session? And that's how the first session started. So I really don't know whether there was a decision that I consciously made that I will teach neurolinguistics. And I think ये बस होता गया. ये होता गया. I cannot say that this was my goal or I dreamt about this or I had a strategic plan for this. I think sometimes we are called for certain things. And I believe this is one of them. I didn't have a goal.
I have never seen anyone explaining this journey from professor to NLP expert. Huge respect.
Thank you, Madhu.
Professor.
Thank you.
Teaching chemistry, teaching chemistry. I'm feeling blessed because I have taught biology to medical students, I being a doctor. So I'm happy to have some connect with you, Anil.
Yeah. And I think if we understand the world of science, we understand the world, what happens here, we understand that We can move, and there is something that moves us more than the biology, and that's something which is greater than all of us. I believe thoughts change the biology more than the metabolic or the catabolic. If I lose this thought, then even my systems begin to fail as much as they're so powerful. So to put the systems at work, I think the sanity of the thought is so important. That makes the difference. It really does.
Thoughts change the biology.
Thoughts do change the biology, doesn't it? Like I can just simply sit and think of all the pathetic things that's happened to me in my life, all the miserable things, all the breakups and all the hardships. And I can feel sad. My hormones change at this point in time. I feel choked. I feel condensed. I feel choked. I feel compressed. I don't feel open. I don't feel spread out. I don't feel the space around me. Vis-a-vis, I can now close my eyes and think of the time when I was standing, I just reposted that, standing at the San Francisco, that mountain top from where I could see the labyrinth and the Golden Gate Bridge over there. And I can feel that wind on my face right now. And it's a sense of, wow, it's a different sense altogether. Suddenly we open up. And we always have these options of either going here or going there, or feeling miserable or feeling magical. ये हम नहीं करेंगे तो कौन करेंगे? And to step into experience, like I say, linguist is my middle name. To step into experience, हम भाषा का उपयोग करेंगे. And भाषा अनुभव पैदा करता है. भाषा creates that experience. And language is a storage unit. It's not a communication tool. See, that's the mistake we make. The problem we interface is we use language to communicate. Imagine we understood that language is used to store information. Language is used for creative tools. But we use that 7% language to communicate, and we miss the 93% that's available to us. The language is not a communication tool in so many ways. I was talking about this to a friend of mine in Canada just some time ago, and we were just talking of how language, we use language to communicate, and we miss the other part. We miss the voice, we miss the whole body. There's so much there. So much there.
How blessed is my audience today. They are able to get all this. I know how paid and how valuable the sessions are when you book it and go. And my audience is getting all three. I strongly recommend every one of them to stick till the end, put the questions to him. Because yes, for me, money is a value, Anil. And getting something, tremendous knowledge to this level, the way you explain,
I think knowledge is always free. I think knowledge is always free, especially this being an information age. And if we feel that knowledge is paid for, we don't pay for knowledge. Knowledge is free. People are available. Look at this. I don't know you. You don't know me. And all we have an impression, an idea about each other. And yet we can talk. We can exchange data, so much so. And we are governed by the algorithm. I think knowledge is available. The thing is, what we do with knowledge, that's not free. Yeah, because that has a price to pay. That has a consequence that we will step into. Yeah, our actions have consequences. And inactions also have consequences, but inaction will always be a thief of the opportunity.
Some quote. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है साइडों से ट्विटर पे लाइन डालती जाऊं.
You're embarrassing me. You're making me conscious.
I'm honest, especially the second line. Can you just repeat it once?
I don't know what I said.
You said actions have consequences.
Perfect.
And
inactions also have consequences. Let's read what Neha Tunki has said. She says, I needed this today. So glad to be here at the right time. Always a pleasure hearing me speak. Hearing both of us, Neha. We have Dr. Sabia. Yeah.
Oh, thanks all for that lovely hearts. Anil and we both are loving it. And yes, I should tell again, just now as Anil said, I have never met him I've never attended any of his sessions, but I do follow him. He is like one mentor who is with me, and my mentor doesn't even know that I'm his mentee. But I just keep one message, and he is like, "Yes, 16th July, I will be there."
I think
And
this hierarchy that media has created, or corporate world has created this hierarchy. They've created this hierarchy that somebody is above somebody, or he's better, or they are a mentor. I think that's just bullshit. We are all equal at different realms, maybe, but we're all equal. And if the mentee feels that the mentor is giving, the mentor should be even more grateful, because without the one who relishes the fruit has no value. And together we form this ecosystem. And as long as we don't recognize that each one of us is nurturing the other, we have begun to exploit. And that is what politics and religion has been doing consistently with what they have fed into us. They feed into us way early, and we don't know that it's fed into us. So we begin to walk. Krishnamurti says, and I remember this and I can never forget this. Krishnamurti says, कमाल है ना आजकल के लोग ये सोचते हैं कि ये सोच भी उनका है. ये सोच उनका नहीं है. ये सोच उनको सोचने के लिए मजबूर किया गया है बचपन से ही. आपको बोला गया कि ये चिकन है, इसको खाना चाहिए, ये चिकन है, इसको नहीं खाना चाहिए, ये चिकन है, ये ऐसा कटा तो खाना चाहिए, ये वैसा कटा तो नहीं खाना चाहिए, 7 बजे के पहले खाना चाहिए, 8 बजे के बाद नहीं खाना चाहिए, जैन खाना खाना चाहिए, जैन नहीं खाना चाहिए, वेज खाना चाहिए, नॉन. ये सब हमको सिखाया गया. और मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि ये सही है या गलत है, लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि ये एक्सपीरियंस डिस्कवर करने का मौका हमें नहीं मिला. We did not discover whether this is the right path. We were told this is the right path, and we were told not to see outside these paths. They robbed us of our opportunity to discover our pain, our hurt, and in the attempt of protecting us, they didn't let us see our orgasms. And they even told us it is wrong. And I think it's not. It's, I can't see, I'm a little far. It's school beauty. It's amazing to see others for many years to still so fresh, the leadership role. Oh, you're from LTA, huh? Oh, I remember. Oh, that's
Madhushri.
LTA. Yeah. Who is that from LTA? Madhushri. Got it. Hi, Madhushri. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I read that last night. I'm not able to see that clearly, but yeah.
Yeah, I could read that.
One
it's
of my
Madhushri.
one of my friends joined in 16th Sejal. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sejal.
Happy birthday. There's one more midwife for me. She's from Bombay. I remember I connected. She's telling कि Anil ने हिंदी में बात करनी चाहिए.
देखो हिंदी में तो बात किया मैंने. I remember अहमदाबाद में एक सेशन लिया था मैंने. वो सेशन मेरा इतना पिट गया था कि we had a perpetual translator over there, and the translator kept translating. And I would say language creates experience, and he would start भाषा अनुभव को पैदा करता है, and I say language creates experience, experience does not create language, and he would translate it like as though like the God channel, कि वो आएगा, वो आशीष देगा, वो आएगा, he kept doing that, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. आप इतनी अच्छी हिंदी कैसे बोल लेते हैं?
हम बॉम्बे से भाई. बॉम्बे हमें हिंदी सिखा देता है.
बॉम्बे में तो हवा में हिंदी चलती है.
Yeah, but the Bombay Hindi is not true Hindi. हम नॉर्थ वाले से बात करते हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि आपका हिंदी एकदम वाहियात है.
It's not pure Urdu. You can speak वाहियात.
Yeah.
Nice. On
yes,
that note,
let me honor your space.
I have one more question. Yeah. Because I have been in the journey of NLP. Even I have my team. The first, when we have एक महीने में एक बार टीम होती है, because everybody is virtual, सबका फीडबैक रहता है. सबिया मैम प्लीज आप नॉर्मल भाषा में बात करो ना, ये क्या बोलते रहते हो, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. आप ये NLP मत करो, नॉर्मल भाषा में बात करो. So on that note, my question is, when you started your journey as a trainer, what was the obstacle or the hurdle in communicating what is NLP to to common public or to the participants?
I think I didn't have that challenge because I think people would ask me what I'm doing, and I would say it's neuro linguistic program, and I would just put it in one line. And they would ask me what is NLP, and I would just give the full. It's neuro linguistic program. They wouldn't understand, but I would repeat the same thing. It's neuro because I understood that everything that I say about NLP is not NLP, and NLP is their own discovery. And if I tell them what NLP is, I feel sometimes I'll be robbing them of that opportunity to find out what NLP is. And for each one, the meaning of NLP will be different because it's about their experience. And like Grinder says, experience. And each of our experience will be different. And each of us, the way we define that experience would be so different. So if you're not willing to let go of that urge to define, I think we're controlling that space in many ways, because then that's where we create, that's exactly where we create, where maps are territory, where I say, this is the definition of NLP. This is what NLP is. That's not NLP. You know, I have a certain section of friends or seniors who would say, that's not NLP. I'm like, well, map is not the territory. And who am I to define that, you know? एक ऐसा NLP का दुनिया जहां पर बैंडलर और ग्रिंडर ने खुद ये डिफाइन करना छोड़ दिया है आज. वहां पर I think we shouldn't get in that space of well, I have an opinion, but I don't know if that's the truth about NLP. Yeah.
Oh, you have so much patience, Anil, by not giving answer.
Avatar. Didn't I give the answer? Oh my God. Now I'm thirsty.
No, but I could understand the perspective. For me, it was a learning. And I remember the presupposition which I had forgotten. I should use the presupposition that map is not the territory. When I am explaining someone, I should allow the space so that the person will experience it and then define it on its own. This was a super, something learning, big learning for me also.
And also to be okay if they have a complete contrast understanding than what we have. And that's exactly the space where two people can exist. Like if you ask the Chinese, how did the world form? They would say a different story. If you ask the Christians, they would say, well, it's through Adam and Eve. If you ask the Muslims, they'll have a different definition. A world where all these definitions can exist is the world which NLP should aspire, or people or human beings should aspire. And if we don't have that vision, then what are we creating? It's another border. It's another impedance for interaction. Yeah.
You ask questions on a question.
See, I had a good teacher. Yeah. Yes, Sabya.
Yeah. So one more thing, which I always ask, in this journey, Anil, as we always talk about conscious mind, subconscious mind, what were the changes which you brought into yourself or in your being consciously, and what were some changes which happened subconsciously?
Hi, Purva. I'll say hi to her first. And I would say, so consciously, I knew that I'm aware of the feelings in my skin. Like I know I'm getting angry. I know I'm getting irritated. I could make sense of that feeling. I could make sense of my pupils dilating. I could make sense of my forehead getting the those barik pasine ki boonde jab aana shuru hota hai. I could get a sense of the irritability on my shoulder. I could get a sense of that disgust which is happening. So consciously I could do that. And unconsciously, I could install new behaviors on the very spot, like probably by using an anchor or probably having a script running. I could change that in no time. So that awareness, the allowance, and the acceptance, the triple A's could happen so effectively. And that's something which I experience. And it happens every day. In office, we'll have different people with different opinion. And how to allow that, and yet not to control that, and yet to be okay with that. In life and family, it happens. On social media, there's somebody who will give a comment which is exactly opposite to what I mean, and to be okay with it, because two maps should be able to exist at the same time. Two truths should be able to exist at the same time. And if I cannot see that point of view, am I really respecting my point of view? Yeah.
ऐसा रहता है ना, NLP सिखाना और NLP जीना, making it a being, like जियो खाओ पियो सो, is what I am getting that vibe.
Yeah, I think I owe it to two very important teachers of my life who's been very, very patient, who's stayed with me, who's held my hand, who's told me things, who's walked me through, Dick and Judith Deloiser. Two very, very crucial. And then comes Steve. He's been very patient with me all the time he lived. Very, very patient with me, answered to my questions, my concerns, my curiosities, my stupidities, and then Robert now. So I think I've been blessed to have people who's been patient with me and my stupidities. Yeah.
Shrisha is telling two perspectives. Awesome.
Yeah. The mother can be a lover. And how do we look at that person who is a mother and a lover both at the same time? We begin to identify her as a mother, and then we forget she's also having a romantic side. She's also having a career. These multiple perspectives should be allowed and should be honored when they come into face, and we should be able to honor them at the same time. Two truths should exist, can exist at the same time. The tree that gives the rose can also hold the thorns. Two truths can exist at the same time. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Two truths can exist at the same time. And if we cannot see it, then we being narcissistic about it, we being lonely about it, we being escaping about it. And there's a problem there. Yeah. And also a friend of mine from California, Nicola Force would say, what I don't allow outside, I've already suppressed inside. What I hate outside, I've already begun to hate inside. And Judy would say, have you rejected things within you even before others are rejecting it? So yeah, I think there's so much of wisdom in the premise of understanding. And that's why I say NLP is merely tools and techniques. ये कुछ काम का नहीं है. But the wisdom is in you. And if you're not willing to tap into that wisdom, NLP कुछ काम का नहीं है. And if you're willing to tap into that wisdom, NLP किस काम का फिर? You know, दोनों ही परिस्थितियों में आप NLP से, you know, वो दायरे से आप निकल सकते हो क्योंकि you are greater than the subject. Yeah, because you're much more. The subject cannot evolve more than you. Yeah.
Comment. Kapil Chabra.
Oh, Kapil.
Sir, how NLP in Gestalt can be a lucrative business in real life if I don't belong to a psychology background?
My response to that is, I don't know. I'll begin with I don't know, Kapil. But I would like to say that there are ways in which you can be lucrative. I don't know. You can look at Tony Robbins as a model. He's made a lucrative model out of it. After Bandler and Grinder, they had a tiff with Tony Robbins. And after Tony Robbins moved out, he made it bigger than the subject. There's a business model available. It's for you to find out how you could do what you could. What's your value? What's your vision? What's your mission? What are you aligned with? What's your conflict? You know, what do you want to see more in this world? What do you want to give birth within you? And once you answer these questions and once you find these alignments, I think you'll find what you're searching, Kapil. But I don't have the answers to, I genuinely don't have the answers of these questions because you've taken something vague and you're asking me something specific. And there isn't a template. Yeah, there isn't a template that I can just take and put over it. Even though NLP is a model to build models, which is why it was made in the first place, I don't have a template which I can give you and say, take, use it. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, I hope you got what I said, Kapil. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you got it.
Asking vague and coming from vague to specific. That was really nice. That will help me in my coaching sessions. Because client come up with a very vague question and then I have to chop down, and bring to specific question. Without that, I can't lead it ahead. But
Yeah.
this line was very, very nice.
Thank you,
As the
Kapil, for being
gestalt
so
word
kind.
has appeared, I would like to know. There's one more comment. Thank you, sir, and you're always spot on with your answers, and I miss your sessions. Kapil is saying that.
Thank you, Kapil. You're kind with your words. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sabia, you
coming
were
to the
saying
start, I want to know how that journey merged.
something. Oh, I think Gestalt didn't merge, NLP evolved. Because
Okay.
if not for Fritz, we wouldn't have NLP. Yeah, one of the four models that Banner and Grinder modeled in their early ages is Fritz Perl. And Fritz Perl is the man of Gestalt. If not for Fritz, Gestalt would have died in the libraries and dusty books. Gestalt is one of the founding principles. Gestalt is the somatic syntax. It's the somatism. It's it's the house of NLP. Where does NLP live? It lives in the movement between A and B. It lives between the present state and the desired state. It lives in the meta programs. But where does these tools live? It lives in the body. And as long as you don't integrate things in the body, be it code, you don't integrate it in the
Lost your
body.
voice.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting a call. As long as you do not integrate it in the body, I think we've lost the mission. The only place I know I'm alive is the body. And if I don't see it in the dance, if I don't see it in the sculpture, if I don't see it in the movement, if I don't see it in the stillness, if I don't see it in the dichotomy, then we've lost somatic syntax. We've lost somatism. So Gestalt is there. NLP came. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you should. It's like you should keep on speaking. Oh God. Okay. Okay. I hope the time is not an issue, Anil.
No, I hope people have questions and
I have so many
I'll be
questions,
happy
yes,
to.
but I need to respect your time. I need to respect your time. Now, coming back to very some personal questions like managing your profession and managing your personal lives. How did you do? Because as I see your growth, it has been growing and growing and growing. So, how do you take care of these
I
two worlds?
don't find a difference between both. And I see a lot of people saying that this is my personal space. How do I separate it? And I never understood when people ask me this question. How do I stop thinking about my daughter or my wife or my mother when I'm in the office? How do I stop that? Also, when I'm in the house eating dinner or watching television, how do I stop thinking about tomorrow's program? How do I do it? I cannot separate one from the other. It's all enmeshed and it's beautifully enmeshed. It's crocheted. Yeah. But sometimes consciously I would decide that not this time and not that time. And it's not a 9 to 6 schedule. Sometimes I may have 6 weeks of work. And the balance is something that just comes when you honor that space. So for me, particularly, I don't know how to answer that. It's not two different boxes for me. Maybe that's my meta program.
Yeah. But this is helping me. And quite some time before, you gave an example of a mother being a lover. And that connected to me so much because I am a mother of a 17-year-old daughter. And now suddenly I'm like too occupied, and suddenly she's like seeing कि मम्मा तो अभी कम available होती है. And now I could relate to what you're telling, because I'm a mother also, I'm a lover also, and I'm a businesswoman
Yeah,
also. So
yeah,
yeah, it's not possible for me also. Like when I'm thinking, she says, "मम्मा आपके चेहरे को देख के समझ रहा है कि अभी आप कुछ सोच रहे हो, या तो रील का सोच रहे हो, कंटेंट का सोच रहे हो, क्लाइंट का सोच रहे हो, मत सोचो." Because she has done NLP, she reads my body language, and she wants me to keep it like damn separate. कि अभी मम्मा
mm-hmm.
टाइम, अभी वो आप डॉक्टर सबिया बन जाओ. And for me, it's seriously still not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah. So Avatar, I like black the most.
Mhm.
Isn't that specific? That's the most specific I could ever answer.
I want to know it's really, and that's looking very nice on you.
Yeah, I like black. There's no confusion in choosing black.
I had a one-to-one talk with her. She's from Bombay. She has
Yeah.
done your sessions and she's a huge fan of you. She's a huge fan of you. She was
Isn't
very
she
happy.
kind?
Yeah, yeah. She's also into practice.
Yeah.
Yes, Anil. There's one more question, again on a personal note. What was that one thing? Just a second, I have got some question. I'll first read out that, then I'll ask my question. Is it okay, Anil?
Go ahead. Please go ahead. It's your show.
Yeah, Rizwan. Yeah, Rizwan Amlani. Have you ever thought about having a place far away from the city for a program where your practitioners can live the program for a few months and apply the tools in the outside world?
Yeah. That question has three parts. Part one, you're asking about a place. Part two, you're asking about of my intent. And part three, you're asking me to take responsibility of the outcome of the client. It's a three-part question. And I can respond only to the first part because that's in my capacity. And that part saying, did I have a dream to have a place outside Bombay? Well, I do take sessions outside Bombay and I like taking sessions outside Bombay. Not that I don't like taking sessions in the city. But I don't dream of having a place. Yeah, I don't plan to have it in one place. So, well, I'm open to go travel Bombay, Hong Kong, China, Thailand, Russia. These are the places I've taken the sessions. So I like to keep that trip on. I wouldn't like it to be in one place. Whichever place that is, I wouldn't like it to be in one place. Well, the other two questions are beyond my explanation. Yeah.
This answering becomes like it must be like it, the question I read, and even I was trying to read and understand the question. Before I could read and understand the question, you very well divided into three parts, and two parts not my ownership, one part my ownership. I was super easy. Super easy. It's amazing to listen to the question properly.
Yeah, this is a question that I would like to respond to. Tahir Rampura. Has importance on mental health seen a change post-pandemic? Well, mental health has been seeing changes gradually increasing in certain parts of the world. And in certain parts of the world, it's still treated shit. Not only in certain parts of the world, in certain parts of time also, it's being treated unimportant, you know. Sometimes when the son says, I think I'm not feeling good, and the teacher or the father saying that, kya problem hai? Ut, 2 glass pani pi, chala ja. No, sometimes that may work, but to really introspect that, to retrospect that, and to see. So my response to that is yes, but in certain regions, and it's not an overall luxury that mental health has got its importance and awareness all through time and history. No, it's not. Yeah.
Misbah Shah. Saying a
Hey,
big hi.
Misbah. Hi, Misbah. Big hugs to you. Misbah and Nitin runs the iChars in Bombay. It's one of the finest hypnosis center, and I think they do it with so much of integrity and respect and honor. Big hugs to you, Misbah. Yeah.
My elder
Mihir,
sister's name is Misbah.
sorry.
My elder sister, मेरी बड़ी बहन का नाम मिसबा है.
There you go. Yeah, they run a ICHARS, iChars. Yeah. Thank you, Misbah. So nice to read that comment there. That made me full. You know, it made me full. So I want to respond to that question also with your permission, Sabia.
Yeah,
How to
please.
study consistently and also balance with entertainment and make life. I don't know what your name is, but I would like to say the answer to that question is in your answer. You've asked me how to study consistently, and I was about to respond, consistency is not a human feature. ये इंसान की फितरत में नहीं है to be consistent. Consistency केवल एक मरे हुए चीज का है. Whatever is like this is dead. And whatever is like this also is dead. Na? It's only a line. It's still a straight line. अगर आप उसको ऐसे करोगे तो dead ही हुआ ना वो. तो consistency is not a human feature. But आपने आपके सवाल का जवाब आपके सवाल में दिया है by saying that balancing it with entertainment. Perfect. आप सही जा रहे हो. Yeah, so maybe you can study 50 minutes, take a break, study 20 minutes, take a break, study half an hour, take a break. ये तय कर लो कि दिन में कितना घंटा पढ़ना है. 3 घंटा पढ़ना है, प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है ना. 4 घंटा पढ़ना है, प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. आधा घंटा पढ़ो, ब्रेक लो, आधा घंटा पढ़ो, ब्रेक लो, आधा घंटा पढ़ो, ब्रेक लो. Don't equate your study with time. Equate your study with the outcome that you want. Like आज लेके बैठो और सोचो कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. आज मुझे 2 आंसर पढ़ना है, 3 थियोरम करना है, 2 डायग्राम सीखना है, या create an outcome. And now उस पे लग जाओ. Like if I have to prepare something, I have to write a research paper, if I have to do something, I'm going to do that, right? And I'm not going to say कि 2 घंटे में खत्म करना है. Netflix का प्रोग्राम थोड़ी है. और वो भी 2 घंटे में खत्म करने के बाद कभी कभी हम लोग वापस जाके उसको देखते हैं, क्योंकि वो पूरी तरह समझ में नहीं आया, या फिर इतना अच्छा लगा कि और एक बार देखना है. Right? Yeah. What do you do, Anil, when I get exhausted? I sleep. I drink a lot of water and go to sleep. I watch Big Bang Theory and I go to sleep. I eat a lot of food and I go to sleep. Sometimes I take a massage and I go to sleep. I have great sex and I go to sleep. One of these, you can pick whatever you want. and all of them are equally good.
I love the sex wala part in it. Having an awesome orgasm, then I feel like all the pressure is being removed.
Isn't that good? It's one of the finest faculties of the human body. Yes.
There's one more question. Task management, not the time management, as you say. Okay, she's commenting on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that is Shivani. I know Shivani. Misbah, me too. We're having fun here. Tahir asks, in which country is it common to talk about mental health problems? I wouldn't again say in which country. I would again say in every country there are pockets in which it is very freely accepted. There are pockets where people will criticize it, mock it, and it's got nothing to do with country. It's got something to do with people. People are not reasonable. People are variable. And as it happens in this part of the city, the same thing happens in every part of the city, every part of the world, every part, it's just a human feature. And the more we begin to tag it by saying that, ye China में ऐसा होता है, ये इधर ऐसा होता है, या फिर ये छत्तीसगढ़ में ऐसा होता है. नहीं, जहाँ इंसान है वहाँ होगा. हर तरह के लोग हैं. And we create the problem. India mein, it's difficult to talk about our mental. No, it's not. It's not. Again, that's a very generic and a generalization. In India, I know parents who are more concerned about mental health. There may be parents like that. There may be parents like this. So the generalization is a problem. And I think we should take care of it. Jeet, look at that. He's a maths professor, and so nice to see Professor Jeet online. You got some great audience, Sabya. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Mine is Rasia Modak.
Rasia Modak. Hi, Rasia. Yeah.
अच्छा लगता होगा ना हमें अपने पहचान के लोगों को देख के अच्छा लगता होगा.
है ना? I think this is probably my first or second Instagram live or third Instagram live all over my life. So I'm not an Instagram live person that much.
I can get you live every month.
Then you won't get these people, and then they will get all bored.
I know, but every month I can have some different topic, because just now when you said orgasm, because that I have a theme. I have one theme and I connect NLP with that theme. So this month my theme is NLP and sex.
Wow. And the moment you didn't tell me that. Now that's what you didn't tell me. We would have got the stage ready.
Oh, that's so nice. And I always felt you are one person where I can talk very freely on that, because me being doctor, to sharam aaya ka to koi sawal uthta nahi hai. And upon that, after learning NLP, there's no meaning attached to it. But yes, I would love to hear something about sex as an emotion from you, Anil, if you don't mind.
Of course, why not? I like that. I think sex, more than an emotion, the way I would like to share is sex is an expression. Okay, it's an expression with no understanding. It's a form of expressing where all your modalities are connected: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. Any one of them dissociated or disconnected takes you away from the act. Now, when I say visual, kinesthetic, auditory, olfactory, and gustatory, I not only mean external, I also mean internal. External because whom do I see? Internal, what do I see or what do I think about myself? The free expression of sex comes only when you have a good self-esteem and a good definition and concept of self. If you don't have a good self-esteem, you are not submitting yourself fully to the other person. If you're conscious of the body and if you're body shaming yourself in some way, you're not submitting yourself completely to the other person. Sex, as much as it looks like an external affair, there's a lot that's happening at the self-esteem level, at the worthiness of self, at the concept of self. Taking this out, it's got a lot to do with where do I keep the other person in the map of my world? Is that person up? Is that person equal to me? Is that person below me? And that defines how am I treating the other person in that relation with me on bed. The third aspect of sex, it decides on what are my values associated with it. Growing up, what was my conditions and what is my filter? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it pure? Is it guilt? What is sex for me? And here's the fourth and the final thing. Everything is about sex, but not sex. Sex is about power.
Sex is about?
Power.
Power.
Everything in this world is about sex, other than sex. Sex is about power. So if you can categorize these four aspects, now when you get into a relationship, ask yourself, or now tonight if you're getting into a sexual intercourse with somebody, or find out your reason to stop getting into a sexual relation with somebody. What's your reason you stopping to have sex with your wife after many years, with your husband after many years? It's the ego. And that's got to do with self-esteem, self-respect, and the chatterbox which we have inside. So sex is not about sex. It's not about sex. Yeah.
I will go back to my own Instagram live. I will make 4 reels out of this content.
Please don't quote me. हम वैसे ही बदनाम हैं. Okay. Husseini said that the difference between making sex or making love. You mean to say having sex and making out? Well, there's always a thin line. See, that's a thin line. And you can decide. There can be people who like it with sex first, foreplay later, can get into flirting. And, it's a very individual choice. Very, very individual choice. Like I said, it's a very thin line between Saturday night and Sunday morning. किसको पता ना कि सैटरडे नाइट खत्म कभी हो रहा है. अगर मैं आज घर पे एकदम अकेला हूँ, डिप्रेस्ड हूँ, तो मेरा सैटरडे नाइट 10 बजे खत्म हो गया, मैं सो गया. और अगर मैं 4-5 मेरे टाइप के लोगों के साथ है और बॉम्बे खुला है रात को, तो सैटरडे नाइट शायद सुबह के 4:30 बजे खत्म होता है. तो ये तय कौन करता है कि व्हाट इज व्हाट? मैं तय करता हूँ. और ये मैं भी जो ये तय करता हूँ, ये मेरे लिए भी कायम नहीं है, क्योंकि ये सैटरडे मेरा सैटरडे 10:30 बजे खत्म हो गया और अगला सैटरडे शायद मेरा वो सुबह के 4 बजे खत्म हो गया. So every attempt to define is an attempt to defend. तो आप डिफाइन ही नहीं करोगे तो डिफेंड करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. So easy then life, there's no meaning to life now, because meaning itself has no meaning. परिभाषा का कोई परिभाषा नहीं है, क्योंकि ये सब हम भाषा के माध्यम से केवल कम्युनिकेट करते हैं. To understand that language is not a communication tool. Yeah.
ये करेंगे तो नहीं करेंगे. Killer it was. Yeah, I guess you need to read out so many comments. After chemistry sessions, now NLP, that is the road, the Jeet. Okay. I think that's
Professor Jeet. He's a very young professor from Bombay, and all these girls fall for him very easily,
Oh, that's so nice. Shiv P. I can't pronounce the name, but she's telling such a great perspective. And Hussein, Anil, when you have your Macallan, you will know the difference.
Oh, I love Macallan. Oh, you know what? I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water from my
Oh,
Macallan bottle. Macallan is my closest scotch. I feel good with a Macallan. A heavy day and a 60 ml of Macallan chilled makes my
yeah.
day.
And I say कि one awesome orgasm और चार bottle vodka या जो भी गाना है ना, one awesome orgasm and I get a kick in the life.
Yeah.
Being in the present moment. Preeti Modi is telling being in the present moment. Very true.
Preeti
It's
is from
truly
Jaipur.
amazing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shrisha is feeling amazing. Thanks all for being there.
Yeah,
It's like,
actually, yeah.
yeah.
Sabia and I would like to thank all of you for being there, being kind and asking questions, interacting. I think it gives meaning to the effort that Sabia has taken to have this Insta Live. And thank you. Like, really, thank you.
Basically, I came totally unprepared because I knew I have heard you so much on YouTube. I knew ki there is no need of any preparation. Just keep with the flow. Hussein is telling, I promised you a visit and a bottle, and I'll keep my promise.
Ah, don't you miss a Macallan, okay? Oh, Preeti, I'm so sorry. Ahmedabad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Jaipur was Purva's referral. Correct. My bad.
मेमोरी में कुछ तो अहमदाबाद का है जो बाहर आ गया.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. I can go on, Anil, but I'll sum up with two
Yeah.
more questions, then I'll take audience questions again. Ki one thing which I personally feel when it comes to NLP, me and my daughter have this vision or I have this dream to get into academics of our students. Because my daughter, she learned it when she was in 9th standard. And she writes blogs, she's a memory trainer. She changed her career from political science to now she's in 12th now, but she's applying for a BSc psychology, King's College London. That inclination came when it all started with NLP. So that's okay in the end, it's all gibberish.
Ali is from Lebanon. I forgot that. How are you, Ali? How is the weather there? How is the lockdown there? You see, you got people from Lebanon. Isn't that
I
cool?
know, it's
I
so
miss.
nice.
I remember Ali. Ali was one of the colleagues in the classroom, and he would sit with a nice cigar.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
nice.
if I remember that right, a cigarette. Yeah. All right.
Anil,
Yes,
you need to come more live. You have so many people loving to come and interact with you.
I feel blessed, and I'm grateful. I really feel blessed. It's my anchor. It's my anchorable moment, you know.
Yeah. Coming back to my question, what I was asking is, how do you promote NLP coming to academics? Having a BSc NLP, having some like BSc psychology hai, sab kuch hai, but when it comes to like, there are so many people, हर Tom Dick Harry NLP practitioner है, and then मुझे बड़ा लगता है कि इसको एक कुछ रुतबा मिले, इसको कुछ डिग्री मिले, जिसको एकेडमिक में 9th में 10th में इसका एक सब्जेक्ट हो जो सिलेबस में हो. So that is me and my daughter always having that vision. What is your take on that?
So I have a 2-point response to that. First of all, I would say NLP is not a subject from my point of view. Okay. NLP is an attitude. NLP is a set of tools. NLP is the act of modeling. The moment children are born, they're modeling. Children are the best models. They are modeling. Okay. And every aspect of academics is modeling in some way. Okay. I don't have a personal investment in bringing that to academics. It's not my personal dream. Okay. However, if somebody is doing it, I'll support it with whatever research is needed. But it's not a calling which I have to stand for that cause. Yeah. And I feel we are all modelers, and we are all modeling in different ways. We are seeing people and trying to take the way they talk, the way they dress, the way they comb their hair, the way they sign. We are anyhow doing what NLP is teaching. And if I bring it to the academics, I somehow feel that we'll make it so theoretical. We'll make it so factual. We'll probably talk of the history and then of the theory, and it'll take away the essence. Imagine Jung, such a beautiful subject in schools. They don't even touch the practical aspect of it. They don't work with shadows. They don't work with regression. They talk, but there's hardly any work. Yeah. Look at my friend, Aarti.
Yeah. They are sitting with a wine glass and मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मैं बीच बीच में कोई सीरियस सा सवाल पूछ रही हूँ और नशा खराब हो जा रहा है, बस सब लोग ऐसे नशे में है आज. अनिल, मुझे तो लिटरली अभी बॉटल, ग्लासेस, वाइन सब माहौल दिख रहा है.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aarti Ishrani gave a very nice smiley. Thank you, Aarti. On that note, Anil, before I end, once again, I want the platform to be yours. Before I say bye, and I want some piece of advice to me, my followers, anything and everything which you want us to take away from today's session.
I don't know about advice, but I would say I hope Sabia and I honored the space, and we both hope that you got for what you came over here. And I would say stay well, be honest to your emotions, drink a lot of water. That's about it. Yeah. Be honest to your emotions. I think that's one thing I could share. Drink a lot of water. Hug your parents. Plant more trees. If you see a stray somewhere, give them food. If you see someone lesser than you in some way in resources, see if you can mentor them. If you can see someone above you, make them your mentor. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. I don't know if it's an advice, but yeah.
I love that. Hug your parents.
Yeah.
Yes, Anil, from my side, I have no more questions.
Thank you.
Believe me, it was the moment of my big journey till now. I feel like today is one milestone, and I mean it. I really mean it. I had never thought I would be having such a candid conversation with so many of your beautiful friends joining in. And I'll surely keep learning from you more and more.
And me from you too. And me from you too, right?
Oh, that's a big statement for me. Because this will be one live where I have to watch it again, because at least I have got 7 to 8 Twitter quotes. At least I have got 5 to 6 reels content. I will be very honest. I'm very much into this content creation now. And I'm very selfish. I'm very selfish because in the initial part of the session, you gave so many metaphoric examples, which can be quote on my Instagram. I can see my Instagram grid like this. He quoted Anil Thomas, and that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me.
I'm grateful to you.
So on that note, I say goodbye to you, Anil. And also your lovely friends. You have some amazing followership. All those who are there, I'll be very selfishly telling to follow my page, because I will be inviting Anil at least again and again for once at least only on the topic of sex. Because the way you said the 4 things, I had never ever thought of that. I had never ever thought of that.
So, yeah, I like what I posted today from one of your reels, which says that the body knows how to heal, but it's the mind that interferes with the chatterbox. Yeah. Thank you, Madhushri, and I'm looking forward. My regards to Biju and to Vaishali. Yeah. I'm
happy you could connect to so many of your dear ones.
Yeah, so many people. Yeah, I think you should put your Instagram handle over there. Ali is asking about the Instagram handle.
Okay. Thank you, Ali.
For people
the Instagram handle, I want to share a glass of wine, or I can't pronounce the bottle which you guys are telling, but I would like to share one peg
Macallan, one of my favorite.
So जब भी महफिल सजेगी हमको जरूर याद कर लेना.
बिल्कुल. आप बॉम्बे आके चले गए, हमने सुना और हमें बोला तक नहीं. देखो ख्याल हम भी रखते हैं.
That's so nice, so nice. Thank you, Anil.
Thank you.
Have a blessed time. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Oh, guys, that was one of my best candid conversation. Totally unplanned and nothing it was. And thank you, Ali. Thank you all Preeti, everybody, those who follow him. It was very nice because you guys could have some candid conversation with him too. And the way he spoke today, oh, it was. I feel sad कि मैंने अभी तक उनका कोई session किया कैसे नहीं. I'm sure I'll be landing up into one of his sessions. And I urge to all of you कि authentic लोगों से NLP सीखना जरूरी है. Do go follow his page and do enroll to his sessions because the way he was speaking right now, कोई हमारा कोई planned conversation नहीं था. It was lots of wisdom and lots of knowledge. On that note, guys, have an awesome weekend. See you soon next live. Bye bye and take care.